October 1st, 1968, a movie was released that would change a small town, the horror genre, and more specifically, the rise of the dead. It was a catalyst that led to a number of movies and TV shows. It would also immortalize a man and his legacy, the legacy of the living dead. Night of the Living Dead was written by George Romero and John Russo. It is about a group of people who seek refuge in a farmhouse to escape flesh-eating monsters. They filmed it over the course of 7 months in 1967. However, during those 7 months, they only filmed on 30 days. Everyone involved had day jobs to work around. Romero was making commercials at the time. George Romero was born on February 4th, 1940. He studied at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. He started his career by making commercials and short films. He also made educational shorts for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. By the end of his career, he was known as the father of the modern zombie. Night of the Living Dead was shot in Evans City, Pennsylvania, and made it into a must-see for fans of Romero and movies featuring the undead. A museum in town features a lot of information about the Living Dead movies and other shows, games, and movies involving the creatures. It also has props and pictures taken from the set of some of the productions.
I grew up here in this area in Evans City, and my family's cemetery is the cemetery in the movie, so I had already been familiar with that cemetery, visiting it before I knew of the movie being filmed there. Throughout my life, I always kind of followed the movie, thought it was cool that something that ended up being such a big thing was filmed right here in my hometown area in Pittsburgh and in general. And I always thought, somebody should be doing something, some kind of drawing attention to the fact that Pittsburgh is known for the creation of what we now see in pop culture as the zombie creature.
George and John started making the movie with 4 other people: an attorney, Harry Cooper and his wife, who were in the movie and owned a recording studio, and a butcher who invested in the movie and donated intestines to be used in it. Judith O'Dea was an actress from Pittsburgh who played Barbara. Dwayne Jones was an actor friend who ended up playing Ben. With the social climate of the 60s, having the main character being played by an African American brought a lot of attention to the movie. Romero has said that race wasn't a factor when writing or casting. They thought about rewriting the script to address it, but decided against it.
And the idea of somebody just casting a African American actor without the script being about the fact that it's an African American character, it's just, and I think some of that gets lost in today's audience because that's normal now, but at that time it was not normal, and people were just like, what is this? And so it was ahead of its time.
There was also controversy surrounding the graphic violence in the movie. Romero made the undead ordinary people because there's nothing scarier than the neighbors.
It created a different kind of monster, like us, our neighbors, are the people next door, are now the creatures that are more terrifying than the exaggerated monsters that are far away in Transylvania, or giant bugs from outer space, or all these fantastic things. And this is a more grounding, scarier, wow, this is just like us.
For the ghouls, the crew invited friends and clients to the set. They invited them to come eat, drink, and have fun while making the movie. They never had a shortage of people. The starting budget was $6,000, but by the end, they had raised roughly $114,000. The use of black and white was entirely budgetary, which made it harder to get the movie distributed. However, they didn't have to worry about the color of the blood, so chocolate syrup was used in some of the scenes. Night of the Living Dead took risks with the gore, violence, and especially with killing the heroes.
Film reviewers didn't know what to make of it. It didn't end the way other movies ended. It didn't feel like other monster movies. It was indeed terrifying.
It also set the standard for the undead, with them eating flesh and shooting them in the head to kill them. It led Romero to make other movies like Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead. It also inspired Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland, and The Walking Dead, whose creators regularly reference Romero. Most importantly, it has inspired generations of filmmakers by showing them that even with a small budget and few people, you can tell a great story.